basically the concept of unclean hands is if you come into something,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
and you are also playing dirty, or you've done something wrong, it's a factor. It's absolutely a factor. Um, for instance, the idea of saying, I want to sue somebody because he's harassing me, and there's substantial evidence that you're harassing that same individual that you want to sue. In fact, the proof in many cases, like in my case versus Ryan, it started with him.
Right, right. That's the thing. Like, and my goal originally was to try to work it out between us, just talking it out, and that couldn't be.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing to talk about with somebody that's slime ball, and he's a slime ball, and he's proven that. Like where he's
Right.
particularly a slime ball is he's
I kind of
he.
hate seeing some saying that about somebody, but at this point, he has proven himself to
Oh
pretty
yeah,
much be that. Right.
and again, Bill isn't here anymore. I don't know where he went, but
Uh-oh. Here he
no,
is.
it's
He's
fine.
back.
But I don't. Okay, but I don't want this to be this isn't a chide on him. Again, another person of peace for him, who's certainly not for me. Although more of a person of peace now, but I wouldn't trust him as thick
Right.
shades. Thick shade. I put Ryan in that same category. Everything that Ryan agreed with me about thick shades and the stuff that thick shades was doing, he's now doing. And it's and maybe even doubling down on it, because thick shades has certainly softened about it, and that's a good thing. But thick shades is still mean as ever. Like when I was in a hangout with, I don't know if it was Bill's hangout, but Ace was in there, and thick shades was just being the same mean dude that I first noticed, 11 years ago. Going, man, this guy's just got some issues, anger issues. But anyway, I didn't want to talk about Sam. But the same thing is Ryan has
Hmm.
agreed with me on that, and the things and Ryan
Big
is
touch.
doing the same thing. Ryan, I just hope that some sense goes into your mind, that you realize that the crap you're doing for attention and maybe subscribers, it's just really, really sad at this point, particularly when you're kissing the butt of Smokey Sane, which makes it so obvious that what you're looking for is internet popularity. Um, and you're finding it in the wrong places. But anyway, um, am I the only one in the room right now? Well, that's fine. I'd love for Ryan to be back in under another sock account, or come as your own. Come as yourself. You were here as yourself at first. Maybe this Bill's Essex Sanatorium straitjacket. Maybe that is your disability advocate, who's a complete moron. Um, Can somebody give a one if they can hear me in the chat, so that I know that I'm being heard, at least, because Bill's no longer here. I'm not logged in, but it says it's live and it doesn't appear to have crashed. Um, Colonel Casper's Revenge. We don't get along. Colonel Casper's Revenge is the one that said I represented thick shades in his Sam's Club case. I hope you got those facts straight, Colonel Casper. Um, Yeah, I didn't represent Sam in that situation. I've assisted Sam in things that he can reveal if he wants to reveal. But it was not then. And the truth of the matter is, he didn't have a strong. My legal opinion is, he did not have a strong case at all against Sam's Club, and I wouldn't have taken that case anyway, because I don't want to take cases that I'm 99% going to lose. Yeah, no, I was not the lawyer there, Colonel Casper. So now that we've established that, Sam said it in a chat. He had a chat where he was looking at the comments on Ryan's video, whatever Ryan's video was, where you made that comment. It was one that he was attacking me, and then you said, "Yeah, how." It was some reference to, how could you trust me and my legal skills? Because look what happened with Sam's Club. No, I was not involved with the Sam's Club. And like I said, I would not have been. And if I was, it would have been for the money, and I would have lost. And then you would have been able to say that anyway, because that was a case you're not going to win. It would be very hard to let's say uh, have a website that says like Coca-Cola Naked Girls.com, and not get into trouble with Coca-Cola and come out and say, it's just a name I came up with. They're Coca-Cola. I thought that they looked like cocoa, and therefore I have no trademark problem. You can't, especially also because Sam's Club owned the .com. It's horribly stupid that they didn't get the .net. And that goes to the Pokemon, actually, because Sam owns Pokemon.net. I think it's crazy that Pokemon hasn't gone after him, because there's such a big trademark for that. In other words, what can Sam say to that? What can Sam say to Pokemon.net that that when he was a little kid they called him Pokemon before Pokemon came out? No, I don't think that would work. Sam's Club was an interesting try, but it's such a big trademark that when he registered .net, it's like, if he really wanted Sam's Club, right? This is the argument that the successful argument that the Sam's Club would have probably made, and that I would make if I was their attorney, is that if he registered samsclub.net, that's a secondary domain. The primary domain everyone knows is the .com, so you'd want the .com, which means he would have seen the .com. He would have seen who owned it, maybe inquired to say, hey, maybe I'll buy this off the person. And he would have seen that it was owned by one of the biggest corporations in the world. So he wasn't going to win that case, even if he registered it in Korea. He wasn't going to win that case, because while Sam's Club may not operate there, those things do not matter in the world of domain. What do you call it? Forget what it's called all of a sudden. Cyber squatting, I guess, is the word. But it's basically trademark stealing. Hey, Bruce, are you still here? I don't have access to bring anybody out. I don't think I could even do it here. So I think we lost Bruce. I'm sure that Bill probably showed up in the back, and I don't have the ability to bring him in. So it's the Rob Reed Show. So since it's the Rob Reed Show, Ryan, if you're here, why don't you put your comments? If anyone has a question before I go, because I'm going to have to leave pretty soon.